Welcome, everyone, to the most ill-conceived business podcast around, the Business of Bullshit podcast. I'm James Hornick. Joining me for the first time in 2026, because we are lazy as fuck, Jared Gibson, Jon Tsourakis. What's up, guys?
Okay, sounds good to be here.
What's up, buddy?
We'll see if this even gets put out by the end of the month. That's really on Jared, I guess. But, you know, like,
We'll get it.
We'll get it out.
We'll get it. I got a process now. I got a process that it's moving pretty quick now that I'm really digging into the other podcast that I'm doing. That I can knock this out. I'll have this done by the end of the weekend. We can post this up next week.
What are we on, episode 27 or 20? I know we had to we move things around. Doesn't matter, but we'll get into it here.
I think it's 28, episode 28.
28. All right, yeah. So we're gonna talk biohacking is bullshit, which is also kind of health and wellness is bullshit, but not. But really, we're gonna talk about all the fucking charlatans and all the nonsense that gets kind of thrown into the biohacking wellness world. That's really just a cheap way for people to make a buck. I have had strong feelings about this stuff for a long time, and it drives
Was this your idea?
crazy.
This was your idea to have this podcast?
Yeah,
right?
I think it's out of hand because I see there's always some new trend every 2 years of people starting to do some stuff that just makes no sense. And, you know, I think there's various reasons for it. And I remember the first time I saw something I thought it was completely stupid. There was a point like in the early to mid 2010s, like in the CrossFit world, where people were wearing like masks while they worked out to mock high altitude training.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between like the volume of like the air density versus just not being able to breathe as much. Like it's not the same fucking thing. You know, so everyone thought if I wear a mask, I can't breathe when I'm working out. Like it's going to be like training in Denver. And I'm like, these people were fucking insane. Just the idea of like hold your breath while you work out is like, but people were fucking doing it. And it's amazing what people fall for. And I guess, John, I know you have some strong feelings too. The one thing I want to make clear though, before we kick this off is like, I don't want to shame anyone who's trying to get their life together, get their fitness together, get their health together. It's a hard journey for everyone. I'm not going to shame anyone on Ozempic, like whatever you need to do to get you in better health. Peptides.
There it is. We should have a tally in how many times John mentions peptides today.
Give a shout out to
just
my
the
boy
bullshit
Phil, the
that
peptide
yeah.
prince.
All right. And John, do you want to pitch your peptide company or what?
We're not launched yet. We'll be launched next week, so hopefully by the time this goes live. But no, I agree. There's a whole lot of bullshit out there. And man, if you go back and you even think about like the federal government and all the bullshit that they've had that supposedly is going to be healthy. So it's everywhere. And I think we're vain creatures and we want to do whatever we can to either create longevity or look better. And we're marketers here. All of our brethren really like to take a lot of fucking advantage of people in doing that. So everything from the Thigh Master to acai berry. Remember the acai berries or whatever? Oh my God, you got to get these acai berries. Yeah. Or you know what? Yeah, how about you get a butt candle and you go ahead and light that thing and that'll give you the enema feeling without putting the coffee up there. The point I'm making is it's rampant no matter what. It's not going anywhere. There's always going to be this fad. There's always going to be this trend. And I think if we shine just a little bit of light on it, maybe it'll help somebody sift through the bullshit.
What's the first one that stuck out in your mind, John? That like where you're like, what's the first one that got you like pissed off or irritated that people were falling for it or the person who was selling it?
I think when I see people that are like doing like magnets on joints or anybody that's like kind of that hippie realm with like energy crystals for health and wellness,
Yeah.
and that stuff that bothers me. But the real thing that really scares me is these people that are trying to like live forever and their skin looks very clammy and almost like translucent, like they look like a fucking vampire and they're not in a vampire movie, not like True Blood or nothing.
Not like a cool, good-looking vampire, but you know.
Yeah, and then I meet like other like executives and founders, and everybody's trying to get an edge. But when they're taking these edges from like billionaires and like they're talking about like transfusions and shit like that, or they're getting IVs every single day, I'm like, dude, like, I mean, there's a limit to everything.
Yeah, so obviously I know that you want to talk probably a little bit about the Peter Thiel thing, but before we get into that, I don't know where my stance is on a lot of this stuff, because I feel like if it makes the individual feel good about themselves and they're actually putting in the work and it helps them, like even if it's a fucking placebo that they're taking, why not just keep doing it? That's my thing.
Because
granted, the messaging around it, all around the product or whatever it is
because if you're selling somebody something that doesn't work and you make millions of dollars off it, that is ethically wrong. Period.
So that's how I would counter exactly. Like if you don't believe in it or you're not going to use it, yet you sell it, then that's not cool, man.
But what if you know that it's bullshit, it does not work, and you're selling it? Yeah, I'll give that to you. But I have a feeling, and I don't know all the things that we're going to talk about today, that we're about ready to open up a can of worms on a lot of stuff that people really believe in that works for them because they experience it and they do it and it feels good to them. So,
well,
do they really?
I'm sorry to hammer down everyone and ruin their cognitive dissonance, but like tough shit. Like
all
you
right.
believe. And the thing is, like, again, like I don't want it's not to shit on anyone for anyone to feeling better about themselves, but I think you're doing the world a disservice if you know someone is wasting their fucking time on something and they're paying money for it and they got suckered into it, to not at least like make them think like, hey, maybe you should think this. Let me just get this going, because like the first time I really saw something, aside from the stupid idiot CrossFitters wearing the mask, when people started putting fucking butter in their coffee.
Oh, dude.
Grass-fed butter, because that was magically better, and that was gonna like make everything in your life better if you just have nothing but grass-fed butter in your coffee in the morning or whatever. And it's that bulletproof coffee guy, whatever the fuck his name is, and
Start
people
with a
like
big hoof.
Yeah, it's just like, so if you deconstruct that, if your breakfast is just a stick of butter and coffee, do you think that's actually making you healthier? But like putting it together is like, and what drives me crazy is the guy who created this. The bulletproof stuff, you know, he has his rampant following. Everyone swears by. He's multi-millionaire, sells tons of different shit. You know, he refers to himself as like the test case, his blood mark, all this stuff. He's in fantastic health. Then later he admits he's on testosterone, he's on modafinil, he's literally taking fucking PEDs to get these results. So of course you have tons of energy and you feel younger than you are when it's the fucking PEDs that made him feel this way, not the butter in his coffee. And it's like, but it's not, he created an entire enterprise around that, and there's still people who believe it and buy into it. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with everyone?
I got a huckster that's bigger than him, and this guy tried to kill one of my favorite, American traditions. Fucking Morgan Spurlock, that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay? Dude, literally attacked McDonald's, and he's a raging alcoholic and doesn't announce that in the documentary. So all of his data that he had in that is based on a guy that, is essentially probably in a truck stop, gutter somewhere, based on the amount of alcohol he's able to consume. And it really destroyed, kind of an American tradition. And I'm still a fan of McDonald's. I mean, double cheeseburger, no pickle, no onion. Dude, it's hard to beat when you're in a rush.
Supersize it. You can't get it super. They
Exactly.
literally canceled the entire supersize.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah. No. Jerry, you disappointed in that?
No, I'm not. I mean, I told you guys at the beginning of this, I'm going to be listening and learning and raising my hand when I think it's necessary. But I do think, like, so hearing you guys talk about, like, a biohack becomes bullshit when, like, the messenger lies about, like, the inputs that are actually produced from it. Like, I will absolutely give you guys that. With that being said, yes, pieces of shit, but the users of it, the people that are actually using it or doing it, whatever that is, like, and if they see value in it, if it makes them feel good, then I don't think it fucking matters. And that's why people keep buying it and people keep doing it, because you do have people that it may not do anything for them except for affect them up here. And that's what matters.
But see,
I hear what you're saying. Go ahead, John.
But I think that's temporary, right? So do you remember like the juicing craze? Like everybody's like, oh,
I juice.
You got juice. You got juice. You got juice. All right, cool. Well, you're removing a ton of fiber and the real nutrients, when you're actually not getting the like the pulp that's in there, right? So marketers will create like this whole craze or a movement if they're lucky enough, and in that there's a negative benefit. So that's what I'm saying. I think the main thing everybody needs to walk away with is just the common sense. Like, flawlessly execute the basics, and you'll do okay. And it's actually not that hard.
Yeah. Well, I think the basics are what's important. I think that's what is going to be often overlooked is whatever we talk about today, none of that matters if you're not disciplined to the actual things that are going to cause you to be in good health, which is exercise, eating healthy, like all of that stuff. If you're just doing all the stuff that we're going to talk about and nothing else, then it's not going to work. But if you are exercising all the time and
let me
eating
make this
healthy,
point too.
It'll probably work and amplify it.
I'm glad you said that, because the first time I actually realized this problem wasn't even the CrossFitters and the stupid ass mask. It was when I had a bunch of my old friends were talking about, like, I'm always trying to like motivate them to get in shape. Like, we have a forum, just in our chat or signal chats, where it's just people talking about like some of the guys are a little behind the curve, they're starting to get in shape, whatever. The one guy was insistent that you couldn't possibly get enough protein. You needed more protein, and you couldn't possibly eat enough on a daily basis that you needed without taking supplements. And I'm just like, that is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Like, you can totally just eat meat and you like, but he read blogs. He heard people tell him this. He'd heard a company saying that the only way to get the amount of protein. Companies? Yeah, it's a supplement company's got in his fucking head and told him this. And then he's regurgitating it. And he's trying to convince other people he needs to start taking these supplements. And meanwhile, it's like, again, I'm not going to make, like, myself, we might have mentioned this before, like a year and a half ago, I squatted 500 pounds. I can squat 400 plus on any day. I benched 225 for 20, no problem. I'm 190 pounds. I just work out and I eat regular food. I take no supplements. Like, you do not need fucking supplements to get in great shape at all. But I'm going
to cut you off right there. I take supplements every single day. I take my vitamins D, B6, B12, C, and E. But my point is, but
I don't think a multivitamin counts.
But your genetics are very different than somebody else's genetics. I mean, if you don't pull genetics into play here, then I think that your argument goes for naught, because your genetics just happen to be like, you can do that. You are like that specimen that can continue to work out and not have to do any of this stuff on the side. Most people are probably not going to be like that because their genetics are very different. So they do need that. So they're coming at it from a side of, James, great that you don't do it. I need to do that, or I'm not going to get everything.
I understand what you're saying. I wasn't saying the peacock. I'm just trying to demonstrate that, like, you can hit the best of your physical potential and be in phenomenal shape without taking any supplements at all. That's gonna be different for every person. But this idea that you can't just be generally strong without like taking is just fucking dumb.
I think the supplements help people cheat the curve a little bit.
500 pounds for the first time, right?
It's like a year and a half ago, but yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying, all right, yeah. So it took you 30 years to get to that level?
It took me. Getting to 405 wasn't that long. That was like a year or two. But getting from 405 to 500, that took fucking forever.
But that's a lot of consistent practice. I do the same thing. When I started first, like I started heavy lifting out maybe a year ago. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I do, but I'm not gonna. It's not what James is at. But I remember when I first started it.
He was gonna say it until I said it.
When I first started it, it was like, man, I can't do shit. But then you do the reps, you keep going through it, and you conscientiously are thinking about like, okay, today I'm going to add a little bit more on and keep getting better. Then you get to the point where I look back like now and I'm like, I can't believe that's all I could do back then. But that's a lot of practice. That's time, and that's the reps that you're taking to get there.
Yeah, I don't want to get off, because I think we all agree that it really is as simple as like eating better, putting in the work, putting in effort to stay in shape, getting better sleep. Like, that really is all you need to be doing. But getting, I guess, back on kind of the lifting thing is like another example. Like, you guys have heard of the Liver King, right? He was big a couple years ago.
Absolutely.
So this was the guy who was, talking about, he created, he was basically saying he was 100% natural. He just ate fucking raw organs and meat and never used any drugs or steroids or anything else, and sold $100 million in fucking supplements. And like, the guy was clearly juiced, and eventually he admitted to it, So like, when you can convince people that they can look like you by taking your supplements and doing some crazy routine, when really you're on PEDs and you con them out of $100 million, like, this is terrible fucking bit. And this is the shit that like drives me fucking crazy, that I wish people would stop falling for.
That guy looks scared all the time. Like, I mean, I guess when because of his lie. But like, in his case, like, he fabricated a story that really took off and it sold and it didn't do anything. But I want to go back to, I think going back to those basics, everybody already knows. Taking juicing as an example, you can do everything with your blender and you're fine. You don't need to buy that juicer. But we're always looking for this shortcut, right? And the shortcut is what's going to, not only let us down, but it's going to cost us more money. Jared, I think a placebo effect is real for a very short amount of time. And then I think ultimately it's going to wear off. For instance, the gym I work out in, nobody's ever in this gym, right? It's kind of like a semi-private gym. The first week of the year is the first time I saw some people in this gym since I've been working out there. And then the last week
They're
I've
gone.
gone 3 times. All of them are gone, right?
Yeah, of course.
And people want to they want to get better, but they're always going to look for that shortcut. I think the biohacking world preys on that, and then you have these
Yes.
other people are at this different level that is also going to feed into that. But I think ultimately, what is the trick? There are things that can make convenience there, and I think wearables are a good way to see that, right? So it's convenient data. But outside of that, any of these other shortcuts, besides peptides, I don't believe that there are really many of them to be out there. And I'm happy to talk about peptides and why it's so fascinating to me.
All right, maybe at the end.
No, go. Actually, I want to hear. I want to hear because I do think that there's other things that are beneficial to people. I think that testosterone treatment can be very beneficial to some people. I think
if you're low in testosterone, yes. If you're
Yes.
not low in testosterone, but that's like a medical diagnosis. Like if you're not low in testosterone, it actually limits your body's ability to make its own
Which
testosterone.
is a great
Fair
point.
enough,
There's
but is that
whole
not a
marketing
biohack?
machine telling every man that, hey, you tired today? You're fucking you got a low T level, bro, and you're about to wreck your car.
But I
and
do
your
wanna
kids are
hear-
gonna hate you, and your wife is gonna leave you. Get testosterone.
But if you're going to dump on everything else, I want to hear, and I don't disagree with you. I know that there's massive benefits to peptides, but I want to hear from you, like, why are peptides different than anything else that we're going to be talking about today?
Yep. So essentially, they're things that are typical. They're already in our system for the most part, and they're in the simplest way. They're hormones, right? And if you positively affect hormones in one way, then you can have dramatic results. Testosterone being one of those things. The danger of it is of not knowing what you're doing. So people should really get educated on themselves and what they want to affect. I mean, you could go into anything from like stem cells or any of these other modalities to correct a problem. There's a whole wealth of medical knowledge out there that just the general public doesn't know, and we fall into traps like going to a chiropractor when we shouldn't. We should go to a sports orthopedist and then get a PT regimen. So my big concern with this is always people getting fucked and ripped off and lied to when there's actually something positive out there that can help them, and lied to also by the government. So, for instance, you're going to talk about the peptide market. You have Ozempic, Wegovy, and all these others. They're literally out there just pushing a peptide that people can go and buy in other places. They're charging way too much money for it because they got FDA approval, and they're trying to say that theirs is the only safe one. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's just always some fucking piece of shit out there that's just making money off of some poor person that just doesn't have a lot of information. And there's usually a better way to go about that.
Sold. Sign me up.
Boom.
So
All right, cool.
I would just, as you were going through this, I just went to Claude and asked it, are peptides bullshit? And then it gave me a big breakdown, and I'm like, I'm not going to read this out loud. It said, long story short, mostly bullshit with some important nuance. So I'll have everyone I actually don't know a fucking thing about peptides. It's the one thing I didn't research on here before this whole thing. It's another thing I don't take. But the psychology thing, so you talk about the government. So this is what I did have to kind of do some research on this. You actually hit on two of the things why this works. One, everyone wants a simple solution. Everyone's already, and this is what people selling this crap knows, is that the average person doesn't have the time or wherewithal or interest maybe to find to truly learn how to live a healthy lifestyle, soup to nuts, holistically, whatever, so they can sell them some kind of easy package. The second thing is if you can sell anything as naturalistic, even if it's really not, it just sounds plausible. You know what I mean? The distrust of institutions is a big one, and it kind of drives, because there have been times where the doctors and the government has got it wrong, but what that means is everyone who's selling this bullshit points to those times and says, well, they're always wrong, so you can't ever trust them about anything, which is fucking nonsense. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of one of the issues we have. That just more science denial whatever. But and confirmation bias, I think, is a thing too. Like if their friend uses it, they think it worked, they want it to work, they want to get like these outcomes, so they start doing something like the placebo effect, like Jared was saying. Like if you want something to happen, your mind's going to trick you into think it's happening when you start kind of whatever regimen it is. So like just throwing that out there, those are the things, the main kind of triggers at play that get me triggered.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know.
I mean, it all makes sense. I mean, we're all consumers. Like we all, like maybe not you, James, but I definitely have probably taken stuff in the past because I'm feeling like, oh, I'm tired, I'm groggy, you know, I'm going to take this. And, you know, I started doing the Good Stuff by Phil Mickelson, the coffee mix. Yeah. It was like $50 a box for it. And I'm like, I did it for like 3 or 4 months. And I'm like, I don't think this is doing anything for me. I'm still groggy as shit after 2 o'clock, whatever. Like, and there's other reasons for that. But so it's like, I think we've all at some point, probably multiple times, fallen for something like this where we pay money because we read all the ads. I mean, Joe Rogan pumps up, what's the A1? What's that stuff that he talks about?
Yeah, it's like blended fucking plants or something in a pill form or something like that.
Yeah, tried that. Didn't do shit for me. It actually tasted bad and made my stomach hurt.
Like a biohacker marketer's dream.
I know, dude. Try anything. See some shit on Instagram and he fucking buys it. But
I always text people. Of course I'm still drinking coffee, but I always ask mushroom people. Coffee?
No.
I
don't know what is that.
It's
magic mushrooms. Do you get high? Or?
No, those are cool. No, it's like lion's mane and some of these others and stuff like that, like for like cognitive ability and stuff. It actually tastes pretty good.
Maybe I have tried it. Yeah, I feel like I have, but I don't
remember. But another example, kind of like I've got some examples of like the later. So one of the emerging trends is coffee's bad for you, so you should take a caffeine supplement instead, which is fucking bonkers to me.
Wow.
Like coffee's a bean and water poured through it. Like you're going to take like some sort of like off some non-regulated pharma product instead of just like taking bean water. Like blows my mind. Where do you guys? Let's a show of hands here. Where do you guys fall on ice baths?
No. But here's the thing. I do a cold shower. I do a cold shower in the morning for like half my shower in the morning.
That's I would argue that
it's not an ice bath. It's different. It's a skin thing.
But why do you do it?
Because I have like psoriasis, and if I put like too warm of water, it like breaks down my like derma barrier like on my face and my hair. So I do like it sucks, but this is why. And I do like a cold shower. Like everybody's like, man, you're fucking crazy. But yeah, like literally warm water from the head up, never. So it's like half a cold shower. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Me on ice baths or polar plunges or any of that stuff. I haven't done it, but I know plenty of people that do it and absolutely love it. Like there's a group up here in Lake Forest. I know a few people that do these polar plunges in Lake Michigan in the middle of the winter when it's like 10 degrees outside. They all meet up and they do it.
Like
and they live by the fact that it starts their day and they love it. And, you know, if it helps with bones and joints, I mean, maybe it doesn't, but to them, good for you. Keep doing it. I don't know. So I don't really have an opinion either way on it, but I am definitely not going to be this person that makes fun of somebody or calls somebody out saying that's fucking stupid. Why would you do that? I don't know, James. I know you're coming in.
I fucking hate it, but it's a complex opinion that I have on it. So, I mean, the issue I have is that it's become people are selling these fucking ice tubs, like you can buy at home ice tub, whatever. So it's a product based sale. Yeah. It has a clear. I forget if it's. It increases your fucking dopamine, or it wakes you up. You know what I mean? Like it undeniably does that. Nerve. So it gets you going in the morning. But where I think, did you guys know the guy who came up with the rice method, the rest ice, whatever, like the cold after injuries?
Frank Mardukas.
Yeah, he. I think Gabe Merkin.
James is
Gabe Merkin. Gabe Merkin.
James just played along with it. He's Frank like, yeah, that's right. Frank.
Well, I thought it was right in front of me here because I'm going to read. No, that's not it. He said it was wrong. Like he came back and said that the whole the whole methodology is not even correct. Like but no one remembers that. Everyone still regurgitates. Well, you got to put ice on the injury. Cold makes you heal slower. Full stop. 100%. Like when you're first injured, when you first get injured, it stops swelling. Yes. But after day 1, after day 2, 3, 4, if you have joints or whatever that are inflamed, putting cold on them will make them stiffer because it restricts your blood flow. Like you need blood flow.
So you're not getting nutrients and things like that into there?
Yeah, just
But don't isn't that common? Is that not common knowledge? Like it's for
if you're
I was
so-
always taught
so-
never to put heat on, so yeah, like I rarely ever use heat. So this is actually I didn't know.
if you have a sore back, like I feel like I tweaked something in my lower back, at the gym this week.
immediately after injury, you should not put heat on it. But day 2,
No, that night I couldn't. Yeah. I had trouble sleeping that night, so I put a heat pad on. Passed right out. Felt great in the morning.
Yeah,
you didn't wet the bed or anything?
Well, I did that, but I do that every night. So
my point is this: a lot of people who do this kind of ice bath stuff, they're 30s, they're getting older, they have bad joints, they have aching issues, and they just make it worse by fucking like drowning them, like restricting the blood flow that they need for them to actually heal. But they feel good in the moment. It feels great right then and there because like it wakes them up, whatever, but it's actually detrimental. The reason why I bring this up is no one fucking talks about this and it drives me crazy. It's simple as that. Like if you have bad joints, if you have like injuries and stuff like that, freezing them past the point of where it's like an immediate kind of acute injury and like the actual like swell or the actual like blood and whatever bruising whatever is stopped, you should not still be freezing your body because it's just going to make the healing process slower. Anyways, I digress.
I'm sure you changed the opinion of
one person. Yeah,
one person.
Well, it's as simple as this. If anyone out there has like bad knees or joints, do your own experiment. Put for 1 week, put ice on them in the morning, and then for next week, put heat on them in the morning, and see what makes you actually feel better.
How about this? Let me ask you this: athletes are in the tip. They are the creme de la creme in terms of being in shape. Like this is what they do. Why do we see football players, basketball players, baseball players after a game ice down their shoulders, their knees?
Like when they get in those little baths. I mean, like in the major league, right?
There's absolutely benefit to doing it.
If you got injured or you tweaked something in that game, there's a benefit to using ice afterwards. But as an everyday thing for just going through life, it's insanity. If it makes you feel good in the moment, great. But I'm just saying you're going to heal slower if you have an nagging injury.
The word injury, I think, is very different than if I'm feeling sore or pain. Like if a pitcher comes out of a game and he wraps all the ice and wraps it and tapes on the shoulder, it doesn't mean that guy's injured. It just means that he threw 120 pitches and his arm's sore, so he's putting ice on it.
I mean, that is an injury. You know what I mean? Like soreness, it's a smile injury. It's the same thing. Like he's in using his muscles, the muscle fibers broke down. There's gonna be inflammation.
Are aches and pains the same thing as what you're talking about there?
I mean, it depends if it's chronic or if it's something
But that's my point.
What caused the aches and pains? Is it like an ongoing, permanent thing? Then it's probably ongoing because you put ice on it.
Because the way I guess I would understand it is something that potentially has like scar tissue that isn't like a new trauma is something that you would probably put heat on, right? Yes. Something that's like a new trauma, then you would more likely put ice on. Right, like I have a herniated disc. Right, I'm not going to, I mean, I don't really do anything with that other than take Celebrex from time to time. So, but I think I should probably put heat on that but see, that wouldn't cool it down. I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah. I'm confused.
Anyways, all I'm saying is like if you're an ice bath person and it makes you feel good, gets you up in the morning, great. But it's not gonna necessarily. If you also have chronic achy pains, it's doing you a disservice, and no one who's selling you the fucking ice bath is gonna tell you that. So. Throwing that out there.
James, how about this? Next episode, we do an intro into the next episode where I follow you into an ice bath sales store and you just go to town.
Is there
You just tell them everything.
I thought it's an online thing. Do they actually? Is it big enough industry?
Record your conversation, whatever it is, with a chat bot. That's not.
I've said everything I need to say.
Saunas, like you got the Rat Pack in there because they drank, a couple bottles of whiskey the night before, just sweating it all out.
Yeah. I mean, saunas are another, whatever. James, what's the next on the list? I know you got a list of things.
I actually don't know anything about this one. Maybe you guys do. Alkaline water, is that a thing?
Yeah, they sell it at 7-Elevens and whatnot. Yeah, alkalinity. Yeah. It's got less acidity.
Yeah. Your body regulates that shit by itself. Doesn't need special water.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that breaks down. I mean, granted, I wouldn't say I'm a water snob by any stretch, but like your Dasanis and your Aquafinas, I would probably choose those last in the bottled water category.
Anything that doesn't have bubbles is, I love sparkling water. It's my thing.
Oh, sparkling water is great. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's bad for your teeth though because it's acidic.
Oh,
So
God.
it's got a higher acidity, lower alkalinity.
It is true. I only drink 1 can of sparkling water a day because of what Jon just said.
Yeah.
I have to research this now. You guys are hitting up with nonsense I haven't heard before.
I drink, but drinking, I love drinking.
Here's the thing that fucking kills me though. It's like, because I have had a conversation. Someone was trying to convince me there. So some news publication came out a couple years ago saying that sparkling water has like high levels of forever chemicals in it. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, it must be the chemical process that they're using. You should stop drinking it. Blah blah blah. But then if you actually just do some more research further, it's not. All sparkling water really is just they put CO2 in water.
Yeah.
Do you know why sparkling water has forever chemicals in it?
It's because like, Topo
our
Chico's pulled out of Mexico City swamp.
It's because our fucking water has forever chemicals in it. Like it's the same thing. Yeah. The flat water has it too. It's no fucking different. Yeah, we've poisoned ourselves. But to the point, like you can say, yeah, it might be bad. You know what else is bad for pretty much everything? Alcohol. So like if anyone who's like drinks alcohol on any regular basis trying to say that all these little things we've been talking about.
So I have a funny story.
Where are we at right now? Actually, I tell that story. Go.
So we had this client that we were going to work with, and they created a product. I'm not going to say who, because they're kind of known in their space. But anyway, it like protects you from like waves that come off of like electronics, right? So their theory is that if you sleep with your phone next to you, you're going to fucking die of brain cancer, in a long weekend. So they're in the office and they're trying to convince myself and some of my staff of like this. And I'm like, well, I sleep next to my phone all the time. And they're saying like, oh no, well the mommy bloggers, and they're just going on and on and on. And they kind of had that like crazy edge to them where I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't believe in what they're selling and they're probably going to be difficult to work with. So we ended up just turning them down. The thing that
you turned them down?
Yeah, we turned them down.
But you didn't turn down the people that were shooting speed into their body?
Well, we didn't know they were shooting speed into their body. Yeah, we didn't know there was like crystal meth involved. But the thing was, like, they were really pounding this drum of health, like where they were kind of quizzing, like, well, do you eat right, and so on and so forth. Long story short, it was like 2 years later, one of the guys like drank himself to death. And it's like the Morgan Spurlock thing. It's like, motherfucker, You're going to sit there on the fucking podium and you're going to preach to me about all this health and you're just downing a fifth of vodka every night? It's like, dude, like, I mean, come on. So anyway, that was just one of those very glaringly moments of just like pure irony that's in this health marketer space.
But you go with your gut. I mean, you went with your gut on that one, and your gut was
right.
The
dude did not look well, right? I mean, looked like like he had kidney.
That's the other thing too. Like, if you don't look good and you're selling health, like drugs or health like services, whatever it is, like if you look like shit.
She was her personal trainer. And like this guy comes out like Iron Mike. So I was like, and you're a little insecure. You start dating a new girl and you're thinking like, fucking Iron Mike, man, this guy's probably got it going on. Dude, Iron Mike looked like he was like a trailer park reject with this gut. I mean, like smoking cigarettes. I was like, the fuck? I was like, God, you shouldn't pay Iron Mike, but I'm not intimidated by Iron Mike at all. I mean, we're all safe around Iron Mike.
I thought this was going to go in a completely different direction.
No, absolutely not.
I was expecting some fat shaming for sure, but that's not like what came out of that conversation. Anyway.
Yeah.
Do you guys want a fat shame? Is this the space?
It's not. It's looked down upon. That's private chats only, Jon. I don't know. I feel like I've gotten it out. I feel like this is very, at least for me, very cathartic. Is there anything else you guys want to hit into? Or
what is? I've been seeing like clips or videos of Kennedy talking about milk. What is that right now? Have you guys followed? What is it?
Okay. No. I'm glad you brought this up, Jared. So I actually don't know a ton. Go ahead, Jon. Or do you know
2%? He said only drink 2% of whole milk or something.
Yeah. So whole milk is the healthiest milk. I would agree with that. Not if you have heartburn. But so in schools, Obama made a deal where essentially they could only have like lower fat milks, and they just reversed that. So they're bringing whole milk back to the schools.
Okay. That's it.
Let's back up for a second here. Milk. Why cow's milk?
Struck a nerve with.
Does anyone know how insane like
milk.
when you like things you've taken for granted your entire life as being normal? Like I don't remember last time I drank milk. Period.
Well, here's the thing.
Like White Russian, maybe.
Well, I grew up like it, and my wife thinks this is crazy, and my kids started trying it, and it was a fad that lasted about a week. I grew up with dinner. with dinner, I had a glass of milk with dinner when I was a kid every single night. Though I didn't drink
I probably
water.
did too.
There's nothing else. It was just a glass of milk that I had. And now you look at that and be like, who the fuck drinks like a glass of milk with their dinner every night?
I don't know, but
Coca-Cola.
I want to know who the first person was that says, "Hey, let's drink milk of a different species," because that seems like a good idea.
Like goat milk?
Goat milk.
Or any like milk,
Yeah.
like any like.
Yeah.
So
Almond milk?
you guys would admit,
Almond
like
milk.
drinking human milk is disgusting, right? Like that's just something weird and wrong about that.
Depends what you're into, bro.
But drinking milk from a different species is somehow like normal and okay. Like it just kind of just makes you think. Like,
Well, I mean,
Well,
not to get
it's
too
all.
far down the rabbit
You're
hole,
not
but
drinking it.
Asians
You're not
didn't do it.
sucking it straight out of the udder. You're like, there's a process to it where it's
You're
being.
not.
yeah, but like what species are okay
We know
to
what
drink
John's
milk from
thing
and
is.
which ones aren't? You know, I'm just throwing it
John
out
loves
there.
lactation.
Yeah, gorillas. Like, we're not going
I don't-
after gorillas.
I don't think milk is. It's just not that healthy to begin with. This is why I thought the whole thing was kind of silly. I think it's very overrated. You don't need it. You don't. The milk lobby was incredibly successful for our entire lives, convincing everyone it was like the miracle thing they needed. But like,
Well, dude, they were great at marketing.
there's
like
a reason why it's
that-
like lactose intolerance. People like are like, yeah, you're probably not supposed to be drinking something from a different fucking.
I think it's like,
species
yeah,
or
like,
whatever.
well, I think it's like after a certain age that, yeah, you're really not supposed to consume it or anything.
My daughter's
Yeah,
lactose intolerant.
after the
She
age
has-
that you're no longer breastfeeding from a human, that's the age. But anyways.
You hear about
But here's the thing: milk is in like dairy, like that is in so many things. Like even if you take away the fact that like just drinking glasses of milk, that is still in
Cheese.
What
Dude,
percent
it's what
of
I'm
food
saying.
that we
I eat a
consume?
predominantly dairy-free diet. It's a nightmare. If yeah, so
James, what do you think about the carnivore diet? Go.
Dumb. Also dumb. I have one buddy who has he actually has pretty severe food allergy issues, and he's on it only because like every other diet gives him issues. But it's really rare that there's someone who's actually like falls in that category, eating nothing but fucking meat with nothing else balanced. It's insane.
I have a buddy that does it. That I don't know if he's still doing it, but he lives by. He's like he lost a ton of weight from it. He's
Yeah,
like,
you're
I
eating
feel
nothing but
healthy,
protein.
all this stuff, but he feels great. But he also then said that he had a slice of cake one time while he was on it, like right in the heart of it, and it just ruined him, like throwing up sick from it. So my concern with any of these things, a lot of the stuff that we're talking about today, is once you start it, what happens when you stop it? Like that is where the bad stuff potentially comes into play, and where I'm very hesitant to do a bunch of these things that we're talking about.
I think it's
carnivore
moderation's
diet, for example.
balance, harmony. Like those are the things you got to figure out. Like, dude, eating an all meat diet, that is such an extreme. Like that
It's such a-
dude,
it's such
the
a-
amount of meat that you have to consume to stay full is also just wild. It's also a very expensive diet. So I think okay, so talk about like real basic tips of biohacking. We already talked about like get enough sleep, right? But dude, just journaling. So I figured out like what works best for me just in journaling. Just like, hey, this is how I feel and this is what I like. I mean, that's something that not enough people take advantage of. And I think with wearables, like I love my Whoop band. I think I've had it for like 5 or 6 years now. I journal all types of different things, and you just figure out, all right, how can I optimize to figure out what works best for me? And I think that's something of convenience that a lot of people have at their fingertips that they don't take advantage of, right? Like there's people that, they wear like their Oura ring and they wear whatever their other Garmin thing is, or even Whoops, and they don't really get into the actual data to make themselves better.
Yeah, I think that I don't journal. I don't have a watch either. My phone tracks how many steps I've taken, but just being introspective is kind of a key thing. Like it was just really all you're talking about, John, is being introspective and aware.
I'm talking about convenience. Those are all tools.
How
Like
you
if
feel
you're
and
mindful
what- yeah.
enough to figure those things out or whatever, be like, oh, I ate a chocolate cake, and I'm throwing up, in the bathroom now. It's like, all right, well.
I've never been a macro tracking, but I have a general idea of what I eat on a daily basis, what's good, what's bad. You know what I mean? So for me, I find like I already obsess over enough stuff to try and obsess over every single thing I do and every single meal I have is too much. But yeah, I think just introspectiveness is kind of a key thing.
Boom, boom, boom.
I think this actually dovetails because you guys we want to talk about maybe a next episode. I don't know if we want to commit to it now, but I did finish that book, The Atomic Habits. That took me like all of 2 days on audiobooks. So I think our next show, do we want to make goals or bullshit? Because I think that's the bang. I think this will dovetail very nicely into that.
It will. And
I feel
can't
like
wait
I should
because
reread
I
that
love
book.
that book.
I do too, but I like
Jen
that
hates
book a
it
lot.
so much.
I don't hate it. I just didn't learn anything from it. Like it's all like, this is all common sense. Like, you know what I mean? Anyways,
I'm gonna go back. I'll go back and I'll reread that book. I think it's time, and then I'll be ready to talk. I would love to go. I think that's a good topic for next one.
That's my favorite self-help book. That and Psycho-Cybernetics. Yeah.
Obstacle is the way. Obstacle is the way.
Those are good too. Yeah.
So
do you guys listen to self-help books? Like, is that your standard book?
My jam.
Do you read your audiobook?
Audio.
I
actually read. Obstacle is the way. I listened to Atomic Habits. I'm just looking at the books right now.
So
Ego is the Enemy I read.
So here's a little biohack for anybody. If you need to get through a book, you remove as many excuses as possible, and it's more expensive, but you buy it or get it 3 ways, right? Get the print, get the digital Kindle version, and then get the audiobook, and then you can crush any book in like a couple days. I think I think it just varies for me. There's some books that I read to help me go to sleep at night. And there are others that I'm like reading during the day. But I would say I'm usually consuming 1 out of the 3 books I'm reading at any time could be considered a self-help book.
Yeah,
you're reading before you go to bed?
I'm kind of embarrassed to say that, but yeah.
What self-help book are you reading right now?
Dude, this is going to sound so lame, man. But our friend Tracy, who is awesome, recommended it. It's The Courage to be Disliked. It's actually really good.
Well,
John,
there's another book I don't need to read.
Maybe that should be the next episode.
Fuck, I could have written that book. God damn it. Fuck.
John,
Anyways.
John, maybe we pivot. Next episode will just be about you, buddy, and just talking about how much we appreciate you and everything that you do for us. Do you want to do that?
I mean, I'm being honest here, man. Now I gotta feel like I gotta defend myself with these other books. Let's see what else I'm reading.
James, Rambo.
I can't wait.
I found it on book form. I'm reading it. Fuck off.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got in here. I can't name these other books either. All right, we're gonna wrap this.
Come on, give us one more, and then James will end it. Give us one more. We won't laugh at you until we stop hitting.
All right, you gotta promise, Lee. You gotta promise to bleep this out.
Well, it depends on what it is. Let's hear it.
I can't do it, man.
All right, fine. I will bleep it out, and then people can ask you on the side what it is.
All right, yeah.
My God.
Oh, dude. God, that is so ridiculous.
Dude, it's a really good book, dude. It's actually a really good book. So yeah, my divorce.
Do you take notes and highlight that book?
No, not at all. But like, you're like, oh wow, like there's a couple chapters you're like, oh, I'm not listening to this chapter. But overall, there's certain things that
Give me an example of a chapter you're not going to listen to. We'll bleep that out, and that'll be the end.
Like it was just like, dude,
because you already know how to do that really good.
I'm very good at that.
He's sounds like could have written this one myself. I know everything there is to know about that one.
I'm like, I mean, dude, my problem isn't that. My problem is everything else around that. That's actually what gets me into trouble,
All right, that's a good.
All right, that's
I think
a wrap
a good
for episode. That's a wrap for episode 28 of the Business is Bullshit podcast. Catch us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. James Hornick, Jared Gibson, Jon Tsourakis signing off, reminding you that business is bullshit.
Peptides.